Hi everyone, this is Mohammad Farouk with an exciting seminar for you, and today I come here with a really important topic that every student concerns. This is how to get good grades. Now, all our struggle in our university or college life is about the war of grades. It's about achieving more. Fortunately or unfortunately, grades play a really vital role in your career if you want to pursue your career in academics or in your jobs. They play a vital role. They make you sit on an interview seat or they make you apply for a specific scholarship. Sometimes we study so hard, we work really hard, we burn our midnight oil, but again, the result is not as pleasing as we would have expected it to be. So today we are going to see how we can achieve good grades, how we can make the most out of our efforts in the academics. So let's pursue our lecture today. One of the most important thing is your attitude towards something. If you first start believing in yourself, then the rest of the thing start to figure out itself. First thing is your attitude. If you want to achieve good or bad grades, it's about your attitude towards your academics as well. The first thing that you need to change is your attitude. If you set your grades target at 90 or 100, you will end up somewhere between 80 or 70. Right? You cannot achieve what you desire. So if you set your attitude higher, if you set your target higher, even if you do not touch it, even if you cannot reach to it, you will still end up somewhere higher. Rather than having an attitude of getting just passing marks, you will again get maybe somewhere lower to that passing marks and you can fail. So the first thing is your attitude towards grade. Develop a positive, energetic attitude towards grades. Have this attitude that I can top this score. I can score A+, and then you will go for it, and then everything around you will turn in favor of you. So if we divide it into steps, the first thing is motivate yourself. See your final destination. See that how your grades can lead you to this final destination. The first thing, if you do not find motivation in something, then of course your internal efforts will not show up. The first thing is rewarding yourself with motivation, with having enough energy, with enough desire and passion to get the results. Motivate yourself by thinking that if I get the higher grades, the door of opportunities will be opened for me. I can go anywhere, I can apply to scholarship, I will be treated differently in my class, my family, my friends, my surrounding, my social circle, they will start respecting me. So this thing is paramount. The first thing firstly, find your internal motivation. When you start loving something, then you give it your 100%. Classroom is your lab in which you experiment, in which you make mistakes, in which you find out something new. So the first thing is, again, participate in your class with your full zeal and zest. Imagine yourself sitting in that class somewhere and your mind is somewhere else. You cannot understand nothing. They will ask you something and your mind will be somewhere else. So if you participate in that class, if you give this 1 hour or 1.5 hours fully to the class, you might not have to repeat it again at your home. When you go back home and you do not pay attention to the class, the course will seem alien to you. So first thing is, in the class, pay attention. Listen to the teacher carefully. Ask questions if you can. Be selfish to yourself. Do not waste your time in the class by talking to someone. You can go outside the class. You can enjoy the rest of the day, but find out this. This is your opportunity cost. You paid this cost to sit in that class, to sit in that chair. You could have done something else outside, but you decided to sit in the chair and attend the class. So if in the class your attention and your participation level is not up to the mark, I'm sorry, but you're failing at big time. You're already sitting in the chair. Utilize that spot, participate fully in that class. Sometimes we become really confident, right? That we will remember everything. But the moment we go out from the class, it's a human nature, it's natural. We tend to forget things. Try to note down important points in that class, what your teacher told you. Maybe you do not have to write everything in your diary or notebook, but remember really important points that the teacher discussed. Maybe write bullet points, right? When you will start reading it in your home, you will start recalling it. You might also record that lecture if it is really hard for you to remember. Take notes. Notes are really important, and especially when you write it by your own hands. You will remember the point. Make diagrams if you do not remember something, write notes, and then consult with your classmates. Maybe you wrote something wrong. Go to your teacher, ask a question the next day. If you read that note and you do not understand, I'm sure your teacher will be so glad if you try and ask him a question about the previous lecture when you see your notes back at home. So, taking notes is another stair to the success of good grades. When we study, guys, sometimes we start losing our interest. Today, there's so many distractions. You are sitting in your laptop, you will receive a notification from Netflix, you might receive a notification from Facebook, your mobile might ring, someone might call you at home, and you immediately start losing focus, and we feel lethargic. So the first thing is divide your time wisely. Treat your mind as a stranger, and you have to motivate that mind towards something valuable. Take 15 minutes break after every 45 minutes. Spend this session wisely. 45 minutes completely on your time, then stand up, walk somewhere, listen to music, talk to some friend. So this 15 minutes break after this 45 minute session will revitalize yourself, rejuvenate how you work. So take 15 minutes break after every 45 minute session. So after this break, you will be fresh again to again start your focus on the subject that you were studying. Rather than sitting in the chair in the same posture for hours, it's also good for you to stand up, move around, look around, and then come back to the topic again. Sometimes when our surroundings change, guys, we tend to lose focus. So set a time, set a place, and then go there and study. Maybe sometimes you're studying in a different place and then you go and study in a different place, so it might distract you from the surroundings. So pick a time that I'll study every 6 hours or 6 p.m. in this place, in this library, in this particular table or chair, and then go for it. Do not have more things than you need around you. Then you will be distracted to those things. Do not have distractions around you. Maybe place your mobile at a far distance, right? When you see it, you would like to touch and open it. So place yourself in a place where you do not have a lot of distractions, and then set a time, set a specific place, and then study at that time, at that place every day. Be consistent with your calendar that you make. Sometimes we see that we have an exam tomorrow and we'll study tonight. This 11-hour preparations, sometimes we are lucky enough to pass and sometimes we fail. We are human. We face limitations. We might be ill one day before exam. We might not be feeling well that day. That day might be something that we cannot control. So study every day. There is a saying, guys, those who sweat in peace bleed less in war. So if you pick a time and study every day, less or more, then you're building your building one by one every day. Rather than creating a skyscraper in a single night, you will create a firm building every day, brick by brick. Do not skip a day. Study every day, staunchly associate yourself with that schedule, and do not miss any day in your studies. Everyone works differently, everyone's mind works differently. Some people like to listen to music when they write something. Some people get distracted from it. Some people would like to play some funny video in the background when they study. Some people might distract it to it. Some people like specific light settings, and some people might not like a lot of light in their room when they study. So discover your study style. What makes you the most comfortable? What subjects, if you study in the start, and then what subjects, if you study later, makes you feel more connected to the cause? Discover your style. I'll study like this and then adapt it. Do not think that if one person is successful with a specific style, the way he or she studies, the same will work out for you. Customize yourself, customize your learning style, and then study. First thing is understanding yourself. When you discover about your liking and disliking, then you will be able to work accordingly and mold your mind likewise. The second last step is again review and revise, guys. I used to write whatever I remember. So writing is amazing. Sometimes you understand something really thoroughly and you think that, hey, I remember it. But when the examination hall, when that place, when that sheets come in front of you, you tend to lose it in the moment, in the heat of the moment. So try to practice in the surrounding, in the similar vein. So write it. If you're sitting in an exam, create an environment like exam, write it down as if you're studying in an exam. If you're taking a test, try to review and revise how you attain it. There are so many portals, there are so many different applications on the web. If you go there, they will create a stimulus exam-like environment which will be seamless, and you can practice yourself like you're sitting in the exam. So practice yourself in the same environment. For example, I was taking IELTS and I downloaded an app called IELTS at home, and I was working with the same screen that I saw at my IELTS exam. So it made me familiar with the environment that I will be facing when I take the exam. So try to revise yourself in similar environment, make it less noisy, or if there would be noise, make it noisy, and try to write whatever you remember, try to review it, and then go for the exam. Do not be overconfident that I will study hard, but I will go myself and launch myself into exam. Maybe the heat of the moment distract you from writing good. So review and revise is pertinent to your success. Last but not the least, you are your friend and you are your enemy. Do not let yourself distracted by anything or anyone. Do not make yourself lose energy to something insignificant. When you remember your final destination, the things that come in between will seem meaningless. So treat yourself well, become your friend. Know that what you like to eat, eat it when you finish a specific task. Of course, not so unhealthy, but treat yourself as a friend, not a foe. Do not waste your energy and time with the people who distract you from your goals. Do not think that someone would do it for you. It's you for you, and you would be there for you forever. So treat yourself well, with treats, with joys, with rewards when you achieve something. Do not think that someone else would come and motivate you. If someone comes, it's great, but if no one motivates you, you are the one who would motivate and treat yourself and look yourself after. I believe that this would be really useful for you. These small tips, if you apply it, I'm sure that your performance in the coming exam would significantly increase. Till then, take care. Thank you for your time and listening to it. I hope that you learned something new today.